What's up, guys? Welcome back to the GESC NA qualifiers. DC versus OpTic will go the distance here in Game 3 as OpTic took a, again, pretty narrow win in Game 2. But hey, a win is a win nonetheless. DC kind of dropped the ball, had a 10k plus advantage, but just a couple of too many great team fights from OpTic. His face is void, man, from PyCat just going off. And it will be a third and final game. This is just the first series of the day. The second series of the day was supposed to start now. So, I don't know what's going to happen to the schedule, but Complexity versus VGJ Storm will probably have to wait for this one. I hope they don't start it at the same time, because we don't want to miss that. But, just for context, this is Game 3,
10 seconds
and we've already been casting for 3 hours. It's so messed up. Like, I don't know why these games are so long, but they are. So, our schedule's all messed up, but either way, the games, especially the last game, they've been good, man. They've been real good, and it's going to warrant some respect. DC take out 33 Sand King, take out the Zai Elder Titan, and we also have the Chen being banned out, along with that Witch Doctor, which Dan King was playing pretty darn well on top of that. So we still have those same very powerful heroes in the pool, can pick those up. Tiny, Razor, the Omni Knight is still in the pool as well. Was a really powerful hero for DC, but again, we saw the big issue with Omni Knight. You get an absolutely perfect start, you crush everybody, and then you kind of just fall off, and then you just don't really do anything all that much. It happens from time to time, and that's just the side effect of picking up that hero. Also, by the way, guys, my dog's outside. She doesn't want to come inside, so I might have to get up to get her. And if you have an issue with that, then you hate animals, and you're a bad person. Just to let you guys know. DC will stick to their guns. Ritsu most likely going to pick up this Razor one more time. Definitely had a really, really good performance on this hero. The problem is that Razor, if you do get pushed to like a 40-50 minute game, as we saw in the last game, there's only so much you can do. Like, he's not really going to be with the same impact of a Sniper or a Faceless Void. Just inherently, he can't do that much work. He will do as much as he can, and he tried. Ritsu did a lot, but there's a certain limit to the late game Razor. It just wasn't his time to shine any longer. In the early mid game, he was doing fantastically. So we'll see if DC can end the game by that phase. We do have a little bit of a altered ban phase though. Ancient Apparition actually not getting banned out. Was previously first banned in the last 2 games. So now gonna sneak through. The hero is really, really powerful and for sure can set up for some pretty silly things. We'll probably see what setup they want to pick up right now, but any sort of disable early on is going to enable you to get those chilling touch hits. Tusk, sure, that's fine. Get those chilling touch hits. I think with shards you should be able to, in most circumstances, set up for the cold feet to freeze them down. Pretty nice combo. Plus 2 ice heroes, man. Synergy. Synergy is real from OpTic.
10 seconds remaining.
On top of that, they have a little bit of extra vision. Ancient Apparition with those little vortexes. You get the Tusk with the Sigil. Maybe it's not the best vision in the game, but it will give you occasionally some methods of seeing where the opponents are. A really well varied duo. I like these supports from OpTic as DC pick up an Oracle. Interesting. We don't see Oracle really ever. And the only times we do see Oracle is one, whenever a team plans on going for like a Huskar or something like that. But Oracle's actually not a terrible hero up against AA, even though that seems kind of counterintuitive. They definitely have a little bit of a push-pull, and I would say it's a nice hero to have up against that Ancient Apparition. Being able to block magic damage with that Edict from the Oracle is, of course, very nice. You also do have a... I'm not going to fully explain how the ultimate works with Oracle versus Ancient Apparition, but the heal isn't really like calculated till the end, so you still can get a lot of heal, even though you may be under the effects of Ice Blast, unless the Ice Blast is still under effect by the time the False Promise ends, in which case you don't get anything, you probably die. And on top of that, Fortune's End does have that purge effect. So being able to get rid of some of these chilly fingers, as they're so called. It's a really powerful combo, or a kind of answer as well. Not something we see all that often, using Fortune's End to get rid of positive buffs on the enemy, but for sure it's a real thing. So, Oracle just as a strict answer to the Ancient Apparition, don't mind that for DC. Though I would like to see them try to enable this Oracle just a little bit more. Again, usually that is going to be, or historically that has been, Oracle picked up along with a super soft glass cannon type hero or a Huskar. We've seen Oracle work really well with the likes of Death Prophet. Getting a Death Prophet and a Razor will give you a lot of aggressive power in the early phases. But just giving her that additional healing, that additional protection, that can definitely extend her longevity. You do not want to use Exorcism and then get immediately popped, which is for sure a possibility going up against an Ancient Apparition. But with Oracle, usually that's not quite going to happen. We'll see what hero DC actually wants to partner up with that Oracle. I'm assuming Ritsu is going to take the Razor going towards the safe lane, and Bryle's going to be playing something that's a little bit more fragile. The OD is also not a terrible hero to have partnered with that Oracle. For OpTic, though, they'll take out the Night Stalker. Interesting 4 position to eliminate there, as an Oracle doesn't really combo great with anyone. He is going to work with a really big nuke, so offensively, he's not completely useless. He's actually very good.
10 seconds remaining.
But you do need someone else to kind of start those fights.
5 seconds
I'm not sure who that's going to be. We have Rubik, Razor as a potential combo for DC. Clockwork was working out pretty well for them in the last game for the most part, played by AUI, and there's no huge combo with the Clockwork and Oracle, but it's aggressive enough to have some options around the map. Interestingly enough, DP will be banned out by DC. And OpTic, well, 2 supports right now, not much else showing. So usually for OpTic, by this point, they're going to be looking at the 33 hero. I feel like that's most of the time what they do, and then it should be probably waiting for last pick or 4th pick, pick up CCNCs. Probably CCNC next, Pycat last. That's again seems to be what OpTic like to do. Nature's Prophet the pick. Again, they do have a lot of this vision, so they can make a lot of kind of unexpected plays happen out of nowhere.
10 seconds remaining.
Get caught with the Sigil vision or something like that.
5 seconds
All of a sudden, there's an
remaining.
Ice Blast flying across the map. There's Nature's Prophet starting to teleport in. A lot of awareness you need as DC as to where the enemies are, and even then, if you get if you stumble over an Observer Ward or something like that, you might just be dead. It's not really like a global strat from OpTic. They just have the ability to play on a very long range scale. And for DC, that's difficult. For Oracle in particular, because Oracle by himself isn't really a powerful hero. He really needs to latch on to someone else, and then he gets powerful. But if he's isolated in any capacity, then he's just going to get picked off. So it's really difficult to play Oracle. You have to just kind of glob onto someone and kind of turn your single hero into a locked-in pair of heroes. And that's never really what you want. You don't want your supports to have to do that. You want your supports to have the option of doing that, like the Ancient Apparition. Like, he can do that if he needs to, but otherwise, just having him farm elsewhere, getting level 6, getting items, that's really what you would rather have. And there's no way for DC to really punish an AA right now. Like, there's no assassination type hero. Razor is able to do it. Oracle can even put the Ancient Apparition in a bucket, but for the most part, it will be OpTic looking for the pickoffs, and DC definitely looking for a little bit of a different strat here. Again, Oracle is definitely an interesting cog. But if you have only one cog, that's not very useful. You need several cogs to make a machine. Wow, that metaphor worked out incredibly well. Am I amazing or what?
Dire team pick.
Not going to be the Death Prophet, just be the Earth Spirit for right now. So, grabbing those 4 positions. Versus the Clockwork, I think that was probably like the big decision point there for DC. Do we want Earth Spirit? Do we want Clockwork? I would say they're both about even as far as what they can do versus a Nature's Prophet.
10 seconds remaining.
Both of them can close in very easily. Both of them can pressure very easily. Earth Spirit does give you a couple more methods of control. And again, there's no huge combo between Oracle and Clockwork or anything like that. So there's no sense to get cogs. You don't need the cogs when you can get something like an Earth Spirit and have a little bit more of a mixed bag of utility. So they'll just keep the cards close to the chest right now. So OpTic do have 33's hero. Or actually, we have seen Zai play support Nature's Prophet. There is a chance that that's going to happen here. I don't know if it's a high chance because Tusk Core, are you going to do that? AA mid? Dendi did that 3 times and then never again. It should be 33's hero, but we have seen a little bit more support Nature's Prophet than you would ordinarily see. Usually you would expect to see 0, and we've seen more than 0, so that's a really large increase. OpTic, they're sitting on their plans right now. They can go for DK and still be really safe in their draft.
Radiant team pick.
It's going to be a Phantom Lancer. It's still going to be pretty safe in their draft, honestly. Earth Spirit, Silence, and Stuns obviously work up against PL pretty well, but if you roll in towards a PL, he just immediately doppelgangs that off. Oracle, to some extent, has some difficulty up against PL, although you can use the Fortune's End to hold all of those grouped up Lancers together. It's not really super easy to actually kill off the PL afterwards. And Razor, to some extent, can do that with the Plasma Field, but he as well will not really be the greatest hero up against that PL. AoE-wise, DC certainly seem like they might be lacking a little bit. And, I mean, they already needed AoE to deal with that Nature's Prophet. Now they need even more to deal with this Smurf. They need a lot of AoE there. I've seen a couple of teams try out Lina again. Tiny is still in the pool, as is the Omni Knight, actually. Omni is not... there you go. Well, I don't have to say what I was going to say now, because Omni Knight's picked up. They really need a heavy hitter, though. They absolutely need someone with a ton of damage for Bryle. I mean, they have an Oracle and an Omni Knight. If you hit with that False Promise, and then you get Purifying Flame just like once with the Purification, dude, you're going to be back up to full HP in no time. It's going to be kind of disgusting. DC are working with a lot of defense. Without too much really to do offensively. Like, Razor can do his best, but he's not going to be able to take out all these heroes by himself. Definitely need that scaling. From the mid lane for Bryle as well.
5 seconds remaining.
I mean, it could be a Bryle Razor, and they could be looking for a safe lane instead. There's not the most lockdown for OpTic. So one of these mobile heroes can definitely do a lot. Morphling is not what you want for DC up against an AA. That's kind of eh. You can go Juggernaut, that's not the worst. Gyrocopter's already banned out. Sven is not terrible. It's a Tinker. So maybe it will still be a Ritsu Razor, and then Bryle picks up that Tinker. Tinker versus Nature's Prophet. There's a lot of push-pull there. Like, the push is going to be kind of countered by the Tinker.
10 seconds
Nature's Prophet is going to counter the Tinker's push. Tinker's going to counter Nature's Prophet push. Usually we'll just say that kind of nullifies out. But the Laser is absolutely incredible up against the PL. And OpTic needs some more Seeking Power, and there it is. You can't get any more Seeking Power than a Storm Spirit. It is the hero you want to have up against a Tinker. And it's even better compounded by the fact that you have an AA and a Tusk and Nature's Prophet. So if you do find Tinker, he trips over a ward, he runs over a Vortex, immediately Storm Spirit, Wrath of Nature, Ice Blast, these gigantic range tools can come in and really just put Tinker in a trash can. AUI is grabbing Omni Knight with the... What is going on here? Flea, Earths... Is AUI just playing the offlane now and Flea's supporting his Earth Spirit? Looks like that might be what's happening. So it's like Stan King, Oracle, Flea, Earth Spirit as supports. So a little bit of a role shift. But he's a stand-in, so you expect to roll shift off of stand-ins anyway, so it's not too weird.
5 seconds remaining.
This Tinker, though, for Digital Chaos. I mean, the Oracle is definitely going to be nice up against that AA, and partner with the Razor, it's very powerful. It does seem like that's going to be the the real combo that's going to carry DC throughout this early mid-game. But I am concerned that though they may have that, and they do have a late-game Tinker, there's so much power on the other end as far as killing off a Tinker. As long as CCNC doesn't get absolutely stomped. Which is a possibility. Tinker versus Storm Spirit is usually pretty good for the Tinker, especially with an Earth Spirit. Not really the most aggressive lanes as far as killing off Storm Spirit is concerned. Like, we've seen worse. And there's going to be a little bit of assistance, I would expect. Hanging around that Storm, shards to block off the way, stuff like that. But I'm liking where OpTic have found their draft. This kind of Tinker Oracle seems like a little bit of an odd way to go. Oh god, these pauses. My dog is still outside. Whatever. It's nice out. It was snowstorming yesterday, and now it's like 30 degrees or something like that.
Amazing thing.
It's kind of stupid, the weather. Oh my god, it's 50 degrees outside. 50 degrees Fahrenheit. I know there's all these Euros in the chat that are like, wow, 50 degrees. That's insane. No, man, we're using the one true temperature measuring system. Yeah, I know, it doesn't make much sense. It doesn't, I know. But it's warm as hell outside after a snowstorm. It's pretty crazy. I think the name of the game here for DC is not really how do we enable Brile. Where it usually is, like, for DC, it's how do we enable Brile, but also, like, for Tinker drafts, it's how do we enable this Tinker. In this game, it seems like it's more how do we stop the Storm Spirit. Because usually by doing that, like, you get a decent time for Tinker, but even if Tinker has a great time, if the Storm Spirit is also having a great time, then it usually just kind of cancels out. So you really need to make sure that the Storm Spirit is far behind. Earth Spirit with the offensive power of, say, level 3 Oracle, they can put a lot of hurt into this Storm Spirit. It is definitely feasible. And Oracle, just like, first and foremost, is a defensive hero, but Purifying Flames is a very, very low cooldown, high damage nuke. Get a couple of those out, and you can do quite a bit there. And OpTic, as far as defensive power is concerned, like, they have the Tusk, which is certainly not bad. But they are not really working with the most defensive power as far as saving your mid lane. Like, there's no Bane here. Like, if they had something like that, then it'll be quite nice. Even a Witch Doctor is a little bit better defensively. AA is just not a defensive hero. He could put up Chilling Touch and then hit you a couple of times. Wow, it's incredible value. Defensively. OpTic kind of have to enable CC&C by playing offensively with Xi and PPD. Not really the easiest thing to do with these set of heroes, as Storm Spirit really doesn't want to get involved in those man fights. Not until he hits level 6.
Warriors of the wood.
But otherwise, it looks like the hero roles are going to be exactly what you would expect from OpTic's side of things. Flea playing his Earth Spirit. Flea used to play 4 position, but he was playing off lane earlier. AUI looks like he's taking that off lane role. Has AUI played actually every single role in Dota? I don't know if he's ever played mid to a long... I mean, I think he has. Like, not like as a mid hero for mid player for the team, but like as a, you know, we're gonna pick this for you. You're gonna go mid AUI to dodge a bad matchup type of thing. I think he has played every single role. Please, chat, tell me if I'm wrong. Has AUI ever not played a role? I think he's done it all. Like, this guy's been around since the beginning of Dota time. He is a serious veteran. I hear AUI is a pretty good player. Everyone telling me that he's not playing 4-1 Please there, even though he just was off of 2 games. Thank you guys for that one. That is amazing. I had no idea. Okay, we're paused. I'm gonna get my dog. Hold on. That's the reason it's called a puppy pause, is because that's the time when you go get your dog. That's the reason. No other reason. Flea camped out in the trees.
The battle begins.
It was weird. The hero just like got ready to fight as the Phantom Lancer got close. But Earth Spirit versus that Ancient Apparition. That's a support matchup that you're really happy to have as the Earth Spirit. You roll in, and if that lands, then PPD is gonna take a lot of damage, especially when AUI is setting up with the vision. PPD takes just a little bit of damage. AUI can't quite get close enough. Are they gonna grab the wave? They will. Chilling Touch goes up. Immediately it's gonna be purged off of just Pycat. Actually, that was purged off of PPD as well. It didn't look like that was gonna land, but it did. We'll back out of there, and well, we'll see where these DC heroes end up roaming towards. Right now, CC&C got to deal with that laser, and Storm Spirit is a very, very right-click reliant hero, despite how much he also casts spells. Not having laser feels bad, man, and also getting rolled into, that feels pretty bad as well. A couple of right clicks, miss up the high ground, never lucky. But, oh, Ritsu is in a little bit of trouble, actually. Hold goes off onto Xi, but the right clicks from 33 just laying into him, and he, oh, walk back! Did he walk back there for like a split second? I think he did. I'm not sure if that would have been him to escape. 290 movement speed up against the 289. I mean, I guess technically 33 is faster. I feel like he was free and clear though. CCNC is gonna die though in mid. It's a 1-for-1 ultimately, and now looking at top lane, AUI. Looks like he should be just fine. Chilling Touch is not quite that powerful. Kill off an Omni Knight, you need a little bit more than that. But Bryle, along with the Francis Lee Earth Spirit, helping to shut down CCNC. Of course, it's not a great start off of the loss of Ritsu. Zai and 33 are just laying it in. This Nature's Prophet build of Blightstone as a starting item. Really, really potent for pushing, obviously, but for right now, just chipping out a Razor. That -2 armor brings him down to 1. It definitely does a lot of damage, just when you have 2 heroes right-clicking in. And now it's going to get even easier. They were able to make that kill happen with only a level 1 Tusk, so now they have the Snowball to close the distance onto Ritsu, who actually has not picked up any sort of plus damage. They will roll away. And over in mid, CCNC tagged with the Oov. And with a Boulder Smash, couple right clicks, he's dead again. This is what you need to do as DC. It is ultimately enabling this Tinker. But first and foremost, it is making sure that CCNC is having a miserable time. And a Storm with a miserable time is going to mean that your Tinker has a better time, and then it just kind of cascades on and on from there.
What have we had?
AUI is not having the greatest time, but this CS actually is coming up real big for the Dyers. Ritsu being dove once again. Treant's giving them the vision. 33 just needs a couple more shots. Lots of regen here from the south. Stan King has caught Nature's Prophet in the corner. Ritsu is going to go down. Now 33. He's actually just going to make a wall with his Treants. He has no TPs. Can he, like, block himself out? He's just chilling, man. They assume he's gone? They see the one Treant. 33, just chill there, don't move. Okay, I think they found him. Well, he's dead now. It's kind of unfortunate. You have 2 TPs, and you can't use any of them. Oh well. He's still doing a really good job. Not falling behind in CS either. Keeping Ritsu off of his own CS, killing him twice now. And because of that advantage, Zai now can leave. Zai can look elsewhere. Zai can enable this Storm Spirit because it looks like they might need a little bit of help for CCNC. Maybe not right now. I'm sure this Storm Spirit doing decently well CS-wise. Still has to worry about this persistent dual lane. AUI, Shards, walling off his escape, but this is still an Omnet we're talking here. Chilling Touch will do quite a bit of damage. Snowball, hitting them both with the sticks and the Purification. He'll be just fine. Flea as well will back out of there. A lot of battling in this early game.
For justice.
Looks like that one is going to be a slight win here for OpTic damage trade-wise, but that's about it. His bottom lane is still a pretty big problem. There are very few lanes where a Razor is going to get absolutely crushed. And usually, even this lane, like, it's not the greatest lane for Razor, but you'd expect this to be going a little bit less bad. Lead now, caught with the cold feet, going to try to roll himself out, does make it free and clear away. Zai's going to get hit with that Fortune's End. He's going to sidestep the rock. Stick around and pick a fight with the Oracle. Come on, nerd, you want to fight a Tusk? There's a Shard available, but too many options of movement here for Stan King. Not worth throwing it out. Pet the dog. She went away. She's somewhere else. I'll pet her after this game, guys. You have my word. AUI just uses his Soul Ring. Fortunately for him, it's just PPD here, and Zai is a little bit off to the side, although Pycat is going to dash in. Does have 3 points in the rush. Shards from distance. Ooh, just a little bit off. There's also an Oracle coming in anyway, so that's maybe a good thing they didn't decide to dive the tower there. So far, the Dire side, OpTic. Seems like every single game they're getting just a little bit more CS. Just a little bit. This Tinker is so far running this game unpressured. Storm Spirit has been pressured and is kind of forced all the way back to the jungle. This is not what you want to have for your mid lane. He's going to be falling behind in experience in a big way. Ritsu is going to get caught with a little bit of Sprout action. He's going to start stealing some damage from Zai, but it's really 33 is doing all the damage, and the tree and body blocks just backbreaking. Another kill onto this Razor. Man, those Treants, man. It doesn't say they do slow, but they usually behave as if they have an AoE slow around them. It's really quite nice. Over in mid, there is a little bit of movement here. Earth Spirit not quite in position yet, and Bryle's gone really far. Does have level 2 in that Martian Machines, but he's just by himself, and Stanking as well just walks right into this. Flea was slow on the uptake, and he's gonna take a lot of damage before he's able to get out of there. I don't really know, like, you just walk right in and try to march? I know, PPD, like, what is that meta? What just happened there? I have no idea. I mean, March of the Machines is great for damage, like it does a lot of damage, but it does it very slowly, so you can't tower dive with March of the Machines as cover. That's just not how it works. I think they thought Flea was over here. I think they thought he was like right here. They thought that he was right next to them, and if he was right next to them, then they could have crashed in a little bit harder, and I think that probably works out well for them, but that's just simply not the case. AUY, Chilling Touch, now up, taking quite a bit of damage, but here comes the interference. Flea is here with Stan King as well. Who do they want to go for? They can't quite find anyone, actually. OpTic Delta split away. AUY is going to be getting out of here scot-free. 33. And Zai looking for Ritsu once again. Oh, the Wrath of Nature destroys the Razor. Short TP4 for 33. No, Ritsu's going to feign going to the trees. Is going to decide against. Disarm goes off for the Nature's Prophet, but it's a little bit too late. That's like the 4th death. Yeah, 4th death on the Razor. And 33 is running this game. 4K for him, and it's only 7 minutes in. He's got Power Treads, he's got the Blightstone, and an extra Orb of Venom. They'll probably be able to take down PPD here, but losing an Ancient Apparition is no big deal, because this bottom lane for the Razor is just a gigantic dead zone. A Razor that's behind is a terrible hero, guys. Like, you never want to be Razor playing from behind. But at this point, I'm not really sure if he has much to say about it. Teleported straight in upon respawn. 33 is going to get drained out, so this time it's going to be a little bit better for Ritsu. Actually putting up a hell of a fight. 33 going to try to TP out, but here comes Pycat from the back. They do take down 33, but they also trade him for the Razor. That's going to be perfectly fine for the DC squad there. At least the Razor gets something. Pycat is going to continue to stay involved in these early game engagements.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower
And
is under
OpTic, really
attack.
all they want to do is come out of these lanes evenly. If they're able to do that, they'll be really happy. The scalability of DC is really awkward. Tinker's really powerful, but he's answered by so many of these OpTic heroes, so OpTic are more than okay just taking a slow and steady game plan.
Radiant's bottom tower
Or they'll
is
take
under
down
attack.
towers for free, because sometimes you just end up with a free tower. Pycat's just working it down, man. Ring of Aquila turned on. Zai does see Brile, and they will teleport 33 into some shards, and they will sprout Zai. That was a nightmare engagement, but they're still going to go in for it because CCNC does have some ball lightning. Couple of right clicks. AUI gets the heal off. And the machines do end up killing off that AA. Brile survives as now Ritsu. Oh, the 4 points around. Warcraft 3, where are you at? Ritsu now is completely locked down, but they will catch up to CCNC. Kill him off, give Brile a double kill. And that, just like that, is going to be OpTic Gaming deciding to dive a tier 1 tower 9 minutes in the game. I mean, they may have some buffer units, and they may be able to get in there really quickly with the ball lightning, but that's still a really aggressive play to go for in the first place. I'm not really sure about that aggressive style from OpTic. Definitely going to cost this Storm Spirit. Oh, Ritsu comes to the bottom lane, immediately has to teleport out. At least he has maxed out field, so he can like do some damage here. But they're kind of running out of safe places to farm this Razor. Brile needs to get a little bit of farm as well. Like, if the Tinker stops farming right now, that's a very easy way to lose the game. His jungle, though, isn't safe, especially since the tower on the bottom lane has been taken down. Like, these camps are not really viable, so you gotta just kind of bounce between these camps. And we can already see he got aggroed once there. There's still an observer in the area. Not really an incredibly safe place, this south jungle. Go towards this north jungle. It's actually stacked up pretty high. There's been like 0 OpTic movements in there. Brile is just a little bit behind where it wants to be. It's still not doing too bad. It's really the lack of Razor that's going to be a concern here. They're going to roll in towards the Nature's Prophet. Damage to 33 should not be enough. They'll teleport out clean.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Just like that, Nature's Prophet. He's got drums, power treads. He hits very, very quickly. And he hits pretty hard. Like, 90 is a little bit deceptive because he also has the 2 orbs. So he does a lot more damage than just 90. Plus, he's sitting on strength treads right now. If he's going to be fighting, he'll be sitting on int treads more than likely. NP is absolutely a terror right now. Plus Wrath of Nature, man. Like, it's very easy to underestimate or kind of forget about Wrath of Nature. but man, it just absolutely destroys everyone. Unless you're magic immune, I guess. Fortunately, there are a couple of sources of magic immunity from DC. Zai and PPD, level 6 now on the AA. Big level to have. Zai's kind of been given the shaft because of it. But they can definitely make it up. The level 4 Tusk is kind of similar in performance to a level 5 Tusk. It's not really a huge difference. Whereas level 5 versus level 6 AA is a massive power boost. I'll have that Ice Blast right now, maybe with an opportunity to look for Flea, but it's a very slippery hero. If you're going to go for that kill, it'll take a lot of mana away from that Storm. Plus, there's an Oracle right around the corner also. That's not exactly ideal. There's also an Omni Knight right around the corner. That is less than ideal as well. They're actually converging on the mid lane. DC on a push off of a Razor. I'm not really sure about that. They see 4 heroes in the mid lane, OpTic, and they still have top lane being pushed by this Nature's Prophet. So this is completely okay for OpTic. If their lane gets pushed, it's not going to be fast. They're going to jump in towards Ritsu, actually, pull him back in towards Shards. Ice Blast going to land the chilling effect, but that's about it. And now CCNZ and Zai have to split up. Missile's going to be flying after Zai. He'll take that hit. CCNC, more mana to get to the high ground. He's fine as well. Flea's going to roll forward looking for him, but they're able to feign a fight. And this is a big win for OpTic. Because DC, again, they push super glacially slowly. Like, this is not a pushing lineup. They kill creep waves pretty easily with the Tinker, but he's not even doing that. So as long as OpTic can stall, they have Pycat farming. He's almost at that Battle Fury. In fact, he's at the Battle Fury, 13 minutes in. They will lose PPD, it looks like, as the Magnetize goes up. No, he's actually just fine. CCNC gonna pull back Flea. Oh, the Repel's gonna be there. The Shards captured 3, but the GA goes up as well. Here comes the Ice Blast. Will land to a handful of heroes. They've Snowball. Is gonna get the rest out to safety. Missiles still will fly, but some will be disjointed. No, it looks like they'll all hit, but it won't do enough damage. I honestly cannot believe that nobody died there. They will all fall back. But again, this is OpTic Gaming still pushing this top lane. Pycat is working now with the Battle Fury, so he's able to kind of make that really awkward timing of Phantom Lancer before Battle Fury. He smooths that over. So now he has that item. He could split push even faster. That was just like 2 minutes, at least 2 minutes, where DC are camping out the mid lane. Ultimately, they get like 200, 300 damage onto that tower. They get no kills, however. PPD, Fortune's End, Boulder Smash, got level 1 Vortex, and he, with the Purifying Flame Seal, is actually just fine. Yeah, OpTic are dodging these fights really well. I mean, they're not dodging the fights, that's not the right word. They're feigning a lot of these fights. They're looking like they want to go in for a full engage, where in actuality, they're just looking to waste time. Trade hits, like, I'll punch you, you punch me, whatever. Because they have fewer heroes involved in that. You may think I'm talking about that a lot, but this period of downtime is so important for DC to find success with, and they've gotten nothing done. Like, this is the point where Laser's nukes, where Tinker's nukes are absolutely backbreaking, where the Razor is at his strongest. Even after a slow start, he is still able to do quite a bit. So DC want to leverage like these super early game powerhouse heroes they have, but they just simply can't. Because they can't get into a fight where they're actually able to stay there and stay committed and actually get finishing blows. Top lane 33 is pushing that one out. His Orchid very close to completion. Once he has that, he'll actually be able to hunt down Tinker with a reasonable degree of success. Not the easiest thing to do since Tinker does have that Blink Dagger, but it's a possibility. It's a possibility that Tinker really doesn't want to have to worrying about both the Storm Spirit pull and a Nature's Prophet Orchid effect. And of course, Pycat is going to be exploding in farm in the meantime. This is going to be a jump in, Ice Blast coming in, but once again, the Repel is up. Once again, this is 4 heroes for DC, whereas only 2 heroes from OpTic are defending this tower. 3k lead, you can see it in the graphs. DC are not getting a lot of gold by doing this. Even if they eventually kill off this tower, that's not going to be like suddenly worth it for DC. They will eventually get this tower. It's going to happen. Walrus Punch, slowing him down just a little bit. Zai is going to hit the Purification. Looks like they'll finally get a kill. Fortification now is going to be expend. OpTic Gaming just stalling to the best of their abilities. Ultimately, bottom lane tower is pressured and tower will go down. So bottom lane down to half HP, 33. Dude, he's got 36 hundo in the bank. He's filthy rich. Yeah, this is a rough period for DC. With the tower and the kill, they at least get rewarded somewhat for it. But again, like, was that worth that, like, 3, 4, 5 minute commitment? Probably not. Oracle now, well, he's just gonna end up dying. False Promise not even used there. No point. And that's gonna be the straight Orchid pickup on the Nature's Prophet. Gonna teleport back, grab that item, and suddenly we have a real assassin on the map. CCNC doesn't need to go for an Orchid of his own. His PPD support AA is gonna get jumped. Chuck out an Ice Blast. He will shotgun it into Ritsu. But he's got a hood, so it doesn't really do all that much. Yeah, another kill, but again, it's another kill and another support. These are expendable heroes here for OpTic, as long as they keep their 3 cores alive. And Pycat is, by the way, just skyrocketing in farm. And they'll be happy. I expect CCNC is going to be going for a pretty standard Bloodstone Kaya type build. Again, you don't really need the Orchid immediately as a Storm. You'll eventually want it, but you already have a Nature's Prophet with it, so you don't need to stack up too much there. And he's been kind of falling behind in net worth simply because he's not the one split pushing. He's been the one defending. So CCNC, like as usual, is given the shaft by OpTic. That's just how they roll, man. That is just how they roll. He needs to get a little bit of farm here, because a Storm Spirit, though he is almost at level 12, which is not bad, with no items, like no big items, is a little bit of a sad hero. He will smoke up. Looks like 33. He's just going to be charged with defending top lane. Yeah, but even if they do have like an under-farm Storm, even if he stays here in the net worth chart for like the rest of the game, like he can still do his job, jump in, get clutches on the Tinker, and really force some moves from DC. Even if he's not able to kill the Tinker, that's like, I mean, that sucks, obviously. You would rather be able to kill the Tinker, but you'd still be able to do quite a bit there. Double gang onto the trees. Bryle spotted now. Ball lightning and the ice ball as well. That is a dead Tinker. Danking arrives into a Walrus Punch, and he too is going to fall. Purifying Flame's actually helping them out. Zai is going to wave goodbye as he TPs out, and he will stick the landing. Up towards top lane in the meantime, looks like 33 is going to get caught. I think maybe trying to teleport down there, just gets caught. I'm not really sure what happened there, but he's gonna die anyway. OpTic still take down that Tinker. Does cost them that Nature's Prophet, a very valuable hero, but once again, Pycat gets in there, gets the kill or assist or whatever, one of them. Actually got a kill and assist. Just like that, another tower is gonna fall in favor of OpTic, and this is really difficult for DC. And they could hold the high ground for a long time, but it's only 19 minutes in. They shouldn't really have to think about what's going to happen to their high ground. They have to worry about this Phantom Lancer, because he's been free farming. The past like 10 minutes, he's been free farming with Battle Fury. And now this is Sanjin Yasha, and now he's going to go for Shadow Blade. Level frickin' 15. Phantom Lancer, again, even if you're getting a lot of gold, and that's all well and good, still all about that level 25 talent of that crit strike. So he's rolling in the dough, rolling in the experience, and DC can't do anything about this. They just do not have efficient enough assassins to go and hunt down a Phantom Lancer. Plus, they're going the wrong way with all the heroes. So that doesn't exactly help either. They're looking for a Nature's Prophet. They're looking for a Storm who's jungling, but CCNC ain't jungling, man. He's fighting. Pycat takes a free tower. He's gonna break the rest of the trees with Doppelgang. Love that play. Just making sure that the Tinker, should he be in the area, isn't going to have anywhere to hide. And now the Tinker is going to teleport back to defend. Just an ordinary day in the life of Bryle. Though, if he gets spotted just for a split second, there will be a Storm Spirit so far up his ass, he's going to be spitting lightning for a week. Until CCNC showed himself off. So now this Tinker knows he's safe. Top lane's being pushed in the meantime. AUI and Ritsu, they're doing their best, man, but they don't push towers extraordinarily quickly. Pycat will teleport back to the shrine, fan out a couple of illusions, and just look to be annoying here. Doesn't have a diffusal blade or anything like that, so these illusions aren't really all that powerful. We'll get a good read on what's going on up here for DC. Tinker is going to teleport in. They're going to jump in towards the Razor, force out a repel. Bryle is going to set up with the missiles. And this is going to be really difficult for OpTic to fight into. This time, the only hero split pushing is going to be that Nature's Prophet. But he is going onto bottom, he's going onto mid. He's actually going to fight Bryle. No, he actually teleported all the way back to the base. Oh, he teleported mid. So he's got options. He's the one pushing the issue here. King with the shards. Are they going to go in on that? I don't think OpTic are really interested in fighting. Unless someone gets stupid out of position. Like, AUI is the one you want to jump on, really. They killed off the tower. Looks like Dire were able to kill off that structure. No deny there. And in the meantime, it's DC. Yet again, 4 heroes pushing, in air quotations, a tower. Whereas OpTic, they're defending with a little bit more this time, so this is a little bit more of a serious defense and an even gold exchange ultimately. They absolutely need to get something out of this time spent. Lee is going to find a couple of heroes, immediately silences the AA. Purification should bring him down. PPD is going to get the shotgun Ice Blast out right in the face. Big fall. Zai, that's a big plasma field hit, but he's got Tranquils active, so he's fine. So many heroes in this area. What is Pycat doing? Pycat's just chilling, looking for a courier intercept. Oh, he's got it, man. He's reading this donkey like a frickin' book. Got him. We'll be traded for the tower. 33 in the meantime. Does have his own anti-tinker wards up. He's got a Shadow Blade and that Orchid. So Nature's Prophet working with a lot of assassination power. Speaking of, they're going to jump in, find the Oracle, put him in a body bag. Does Stormtrooper have Bloodstone? He does now, whenever he gets out there. Pycat v Ritsu. It's like he was able to get that static link off, but he does not have any true sight, so it doesn't really matter. Now the Phantom Rush back in with the Shotgun Blast. PPD out of nowhere with the chair. Kills off Ritsu. AUI is going to be tagged by the Lance, but he'll be just fine. You don't expect the Ancient Apparition to come out like that. And now Pycat's going to send his goons in to Roche. Man, killing off Roshan with Phantom Lancer is so safe. You even have the Nature's Prophet coming in, adding quite a bit of extra damage. AUI is going to be stumbling over that Icy Vortex. Force Punch immediately out, ready down to half HP, and he's just getting shredded. He's going to put the Guardian Angel up for a little while. Dual Scepter will buy himself a little bit more time, but he's not getting that much help. He will finally get that False Promise on himself. And it might be enough to get him out of the situation alive. Shards will connect and he will be fine, but off in the low ground, the Tinker, he's the one who really needs that False Promise, and he's going to go down. AUI and Stanky both stuck on the high ground, but CCNC is going to follow up with Pycat jumping right up the hill. As AUI now Sprout, ooh, not quite on the mark there. Still, Pycat is just charging in with the Lance of the AUI. One more Purification. That's not going to be enough to save him versus Pycat. CCNC is running dry on mana right now. Ritsu's going to show up to the fight, but this Phantom Lancer is just going to town onto anyone he can get his claws onto, including this Razor. Stuck in the Sprout right now. Yule Scepter is going to buy him a little bit of space, but it's not enough. There's so much crap in the way. He just can't run out of there, although Pycat's starting to drop pretty low. Flea's got to magnetize on pretty much everyone. They're going to catch Zai on the retreat. 33. Sprouts the high ground. Teleports out. No. Ritsu does get the kill, but they force out a buyback onto AUI. Pycat in the meantime, Doppelgang gets rid of that true sight. The dust, rather, and now the big ball lightning in onto this Razor. It looks like the Shotgun Blast should shatter him, and it will. And now AUI, I don't know if there's much mana on CCNC. He does have quite a few Bloodstone charges, but that's a little bit too aggressive of a play to go for that one. Pycat does ultimately survive. Needs a little bit of healing, in just a little bit. He'll be up to fit fighting shape. Now there's Phantom Lancers. Oh man, he's getting really fat. I feel like we didn't even see like that much of a play there from the Nature's Prophet, considering what net worth he has. But this Phantom Lancer is just like kind of unkillable. DC, how many buybacks were spent there? That is not the right buyback button. Okay, we got Omni and Tusk. Just one apiece. Not really a super heavy commitment. Didn't really warrant that. Pycat is starting to stack up, man. He is starting to get really huge. And CCNC as well. He's kind of been playing a slow roll because his lane was being camped out by literally 4 heroes. But now that that has kind of dissolved, he's sitting on a Bloodstone. He's got an Orchid right around the corner. Perhaps more importantly, he's got 18 Bloodstone charges. Like, he was on the bottom of the net worth chart for the cores. Now he's in 4th place, right behind a Tinker, who he naturally hard counters. This is a really good spot to be in as a Storm Spirit, and this is what DC were trying to avoid by making those aggressive push plays. Unfortunately, they were just a little bit too slow, and now they kind of just wasted their time in doing so, in making those pushes. the Page Cat gonna grab that upgraded Shadow Blade. Silver Edge now up. Still with a couple item slots to fill. Level 20 on that Phantom Lancer. Got a big jump in. CCNC gonna find an Oracle. Not quite enough to get the kill as AUI is right there. Actually going for a Radiance. Don't mind that. They definitely are suffering from a lack of damage. The AoE kind of twinkle effect of the Radiance would be really good up against Nature's Prophet and Phantom Lancer. Oh, they didn't kill off Roche before. I just naturally assumed they killed off Roche. Well, Roche is now gonna go down. Frozen in place. There's a medallion floating around here from his eye, it looks like. And with so many Smurfs, yeah, Pycat's taking literal no damage from this one. 33's got a wall of treants blocking the way. And someone wants to grab that, CCNC. Probably the best Aegis carrier in Dota. Storm Spirit, I want to say. He's definitely up there, man. He's definitely like top 3 at least. Straight into a tier 1 tower, though DC looks like they want to get into a fight over this one. Pycat has 2300 HP thanks to the Ultimate Orb build-up and, of course, that Sange. CCNC can kind of suicide dive onto AUI, although he really, really would rather go in onto this Oracle if he can find him. He's going to jump in fairly deep. He's immediately going to hit with the Silence. Ice Blast coming in will be sidestepped as Storm Spirit's going to take quite a bit of damage here. He does force everyone away from that tower and should have it locked up. Pycat going to continue destroying trees. Timbersaw will be proud of you. This tower will be picked off. But yeah, and that's all they wanted. Bottom lane still being pushed in. What does 33 have at this point? Oh my god, he completed a Nullifier. At the very, very worst, it's plus 65 damage on a hero who attacks reasonably quickly. You can see this right click of Nature's Prophet is nothing to shake a stick at. But the big use of the Nullifier is the that first line, dispels the target. Now muting at this point is of course really nice to mess with the Tinker, Yule's Scepter, Barrier. There are items to mute in this game. It's really all about that dispel though. Getting rid of that Omni Knight ability set. And to some extent the Oracle. You can get rid of the Edict. I don't know if that's ever going to come into play, but it's something you can do. Unfortunately, you cannot dispel False Promise. How crazy would that be? They're going to nullify the Tinker. CCNC uses a lot of mana and is ultimately going to go for Stand King instead. 33 is just going to lay into Flea, though the Tinker's going to jump over, get the kill, try TP out, and will be successful. False Promise giving him some nice cover. PPD being chased down by AUI. CCNC is running dry in the mana department right now, but AUI doesn't want to chase that far by himself. Does have backup coming in form of the Tinker. In the meantime, shit's going down over in mid lane. Pycat is going to have backdoor protection turned off thanks to this one heroic range creep and is just going to get to work on this tower. Fortification is going to be there and Pycat will be slowed down a little bit. Laser is starting to bounce. Aghanim Scepter is up on the Tinker. Pycat, he does have the Doppelgang to unblind himself from time to time. We'll definitely need some accuracy moving forward. Tower takes an absolute beating. That trade in and of itself for DC, kill-wise, works out pretty well in their favor. Problem is that Storm Spirit has still the Aegis, and with 20 Bloodstone charges, about an instant respawn time. And a Haste Rune, just in case he wasn't quite fast enough, he now has that also. And of course, Pycat is still not being dealt with. He's died 0 times in this game, and he's working with another 3,600 gold. He can honestly get anything. If he just builds pure bulk, that's fine. If he gets a Bloodthorn, that's fine. Gets a Nullifier, sure, whatever, man. Nullifier is another anti-Omni Knight measure. He can actually get whatever item he wants. Probably would rather have a... I'd rather like to see him get a kind of a more defensive, tanky item since he's so close to level 25. But Nullifier, even though it's offensive, it's not like a damage item. It's not quite the same thing. It actually lets you do the damage that you have instead of adding more damage. So I'm down with this as well. From like a Nullifier into a health item, and by that point he will definitely have that crit up on 25. Oh, and that's actually not a Nullifier. That's a straight BKB purchase. I'm a big fan of this one. Can't do much to a Magic Immune Phantom Lancer. AUI, so you can see Pycat charge in. They're going to get the kickoff on him. Yule's Scepter as well, but CCNC comes in. Aldo takes a big hit upon arrival. Pycat's down to half HP as well as the missiles and lasers starting to really destroy OpTic's health pool here, but We'll be able to disengage cleanly away. GA pulled out by AUI ultimately. Doesn't really save anyone. I mean, this is going to save that aggressive play. OpTic aren't going to bust high ground or anything like that. But you can see the map control for DC is really starting to decrease here. Pretty much all of this map on the mini-map, this is all in favor of OpTic. That means fewer options. That means less farm for DC. That means the end is closing in on them. Still, Tinker with the Aghanim Scepter is going to be a difficult hero to deal with. Storm Spirit, though, he is going for the item that you need to go for in order to counter this in that BKB. Once you get that, you can YOLO dive as far as you need to go in order to get onto the Tinker. All you need is a short glimpse of vision. Or they can just kind of rush the racks, because there's a big smoke up from DC, and they just aren't coming back in time. I got some BKB for the racks. I'm just gonna take it and walk out. Dude, that was the easiest push against Tinker I've ever seen in my life. They just walked in, grabbed racks, and just walked out. Easy game. That is an expensive use of BKB, 10 seconds. But to take racks, definitely worth it for PyCat. Got BKB number 2 up on the Nature's Prophet with 3 kind of right around the corner. Yeah, I mean, CCNC just needs to make sure that he has that BKB up so that he can not use Orchid on the Tinker and rather use Orchid on either the Omni Knight or the Oracle in going for the Tinker. If you BKB with the Orchid, then you can kill off the Tinker pretty much guaranteed. Unless both the Omni Knight and the Oracle are near the Tinker, which is a possibility, but unlikely. Even AA, man, he's got a Yule Scepter. Movement speed is definitely quite nice there, but it's all about just stalling out a couple of these fights. The enemies pop GA. You just immediately Cyclone them. Basic Dispel. Spellable, yes. So, there you go.
Healing shock.
It's not always what you want to do, but it's also a self-contained combo with Cold Feet. Not really something that comes up all the time, because you don't really see AAs get any items ever, usually. But, you know, it is something that DC are just going to have to worry about. You do need to have repels there, or like BKBs or something. Or all of those things. PyCat is just getting nuts out of control, man. He's at 24k net worth. It's 8k above the Tinker. Wonder if he's actually going to go for the Nullifier right now. I mean, he kind of wants to get through that Omni Knight. But at the same time, you can just do this and just straight kill off the Omni Knight. PyCat's going to drive everyone else back as 33 is going to jump with his own Nullifier, kill off Fleet, and also force the Oracle to fall to Thomas himself. The GA does come down here, but the Sprout and all of these units are just keeping these DC heroes from actually making a clean retreat. CCNC and PyCat still very, very high health pools right now, as the Yule Scepter is going to keep Ritzy from dying for a couple seconds, but it's not going to last long enough. And now Bryle, he's in a compromised spot. The laser mischance, he'll blink out of there, but PyCat still chasing. Bryle will TP out and will live, albeit barely. Double buybacks being forced there. OpTic lose just the Tusk and clean up 4 heroes, including getting 2 buybacks. I mean, that was... Yeah, that's how you take a team fight, right? Just walk right in with your invulnerable Phantom Lancer, start killing people. He does survive after having experienced all those kills, so level 25 is pretty much locked up on PyCat with the Nullifier complete soon. We got a CCNC BKB on top of that. 24 Bloodstone charges. I think CCNC has not died since he's picked up this Bloodstone. He definitely didn't use that Aegis. It just kind of timed out. Oh, jeez. And he's now just... He's very, very deadly right now. As Stan King, you are shitting your pants 24/7. Like, there is just a constant stream of shit coming out your pants because you don't know when you're going to die or not. I guess AUI is doing the same. Now the Orchid goes onto the Oracle. They'll take down 3 immediately. And just like that, it's a morale win for OpTic. They say, get the hell out of my game. We're just gonna straight kill you. We don't need to push your high ground. We'll just kill you. That's a decent way to do it. That's a decent way to do it, to say the least, guys. It's gonna be OpTic Gaming taking a 2-1 win over DC. in a 4-hour best of 3. It's like the longest set of all time. But that's fine, because we still have another match. Apologies to VGJ. Storm and Complexity. Guys, their game was supposed to start like an hour ago. But, yeah, DC, just a really, really awkward draft. OpTic, they absolutely destroy Ritsu's game, thanks to that Nature's Prophet play on bottom. And, of course, Zai helping out in that as well. I mean, sometimes all you need is a Phantom Lancer to not die. All 3 of your cores on OpTic to be getting some pretty consistent farm. And for DC, those decisions to group up as 4 and try to take down those towers, not really sure if that was the correct decision in the end. It is going to mean that they're going to drop down to the lower bracket. Guys, not going to waste any more time here because, again, Complexity, VGJ, Storm are going to be playing now, 10 minutes, something like that. Going to be happening soon. If you guys enjoyed the cast, be sure to stick around because one more best of 3 is on the way. You can follow me on Twitter at Mike Loris if you enjoy the casting. Guys, I'll be right back for the next match of the day.